let's start now, okay? What you guys are seeing over here is the basic telemarketing training, okay? Basic telemarketing training. You're going to learn here how to do this job. We're going to help you excel at this, okay? There are many things that you need to know, that you need to understand related to this job. I'm gonna make sure that you I'm gonna make sure to cover everything related to the job, okay? You can see over here with the telemarketing 101. Now let's start. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. You probably already know my name. My name is Daniel. I'm gonna be your coach here. I'll be helping you right now to make the best out of this. You can contact me here at my email address. My email address is danieltopdeals@gmail.com. Okay, feel free to send me a message on my email address if you need to ask me anything. Okay, danieltopdeals@gmail.com. So let's start right away with the main things about this training. I believe the first thing that we have to learn before we start is that we have to take care of the pauses. Okay, we need to mind the pauses when we speak. Okay, we need to mind the pauses. There is a very simple reason behind it. Okay, if you're minding the pauses, you're going to make sure that you are giving them, you're giving the customer the proper time it needs to pay attention and to understand the things you're talking about. Okay, it's a very, very simple thing. Okay, the importance of minding the pauses while using the script is to give both yourself and the customer the proper time to rest. Okay, the customer will not get tired of listening to you yapping about about their properties, yapping about the script, and you will also have a good time to rest your voice and to take deep breaths when you're delivering the script. Okay, and the pauses are also great to help you convey the proper message and give you time to think. Okay, it can set the rhythm of the rest of the call. Okay, by a very simple thing. Okay, because if you start the script in a very fast way and they ask you something that you don't know, you don't quite know how to answer, but you already set your speed at a very fast accelerated rhythm, they will be like, if they ask you something and you don't know how to answer that question, they are going to you're going to break the flow of the call. Okay, and that's one of the things that the pauses help us to keep a normal flow of the call. Okay, so remember, mind the pauses. Try to picture this in your head. Okay, I give you a hamburger, I give you a steak, and then you grab the steak. Let's imagine that I gave you a steak. You grab the steak, you roll it as a pancake, and eat it as a whole without taking a bite, without anything. You don't even chew the damn thing. You just eat it whole. You swallow it all. That's the same thing that happens on the script if you don't pay proper attention to the pauses. Okay, pauses are there for a reason. It can help the script being digested in a better way. Okay, and it also sets the rhythm of the call. Remember, we already spoke about that. If you keep a rhythm if you keep a rhythm and by the time they ask you something you don't know how to keep that rhythm up, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail terribly. So remember, mind the pauses. Pay attention to that. Remember, we want them to understand what we were talking about. So don't be afraid of using the pauses, guys. Now let's go to the next thing. The next thing, one of the most important rules about this is that you have to be confident. Okay, you need to be confident. I understand that not everyone's confident. Okay, I've had to deal myself with a lot of people. I used to be a teacher for like 5 years, and I had to deal with a lot of people that lacked the proper confidence to speak. Some of them great English speakers, but they were not able to speak because they were very shy. They lacked the proper confidence to speak out loud. And the same thing has happened to the office. This project has been running since like what, 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. We've been working here in Digital Secretary, and I've seen a lot of people here that are great bilinguals, but they lacked complete confidence over their abilities. Okay, that's a fact. So right now I'm going to teach you some easy ways to project confidence on the phone. I managed to grab 3 simple rules. If you follow those rules, trust me, you're going to sound or you're going to project a lot of confidence. Those 3 rules are: know the script, know the project, and be sharp. Know the script, know the project, be sharp. Know the script, know the project, be sharp. I repeat those a lot because those are very important rules that you need to pay attention of. So let's start with the basics. Let's talk about knowing the script. Okay, I'm going to teach you why it's so important to know the script. Knowing the script, I mean, you're going to work with the script every day. The script is going to be your main tool. okay? So if you know the script from memory, you'll have the proper time, the proper confidence, I'm sorry, you'll have the proper confidence to deliver it without any problem, okay? You'll have to read it anyway. I always recommend the agents to read the script. They have to have the script available at some point because no matter how experienced you are at this, you're going to forget something at some point. It's something completely normal, okay? But nonetheless, I still recommend you to know the script, and to understand the script. You have to read it anyway when you work. But by knowing the script, you'll have a layer of confidence that will work in a subconscious level during the call. Let me tell you how, okay? If you know every little punctuation mark, every quotation mark, every exclamation mark, every question mark, if you know everything, every little thing related to the project, where goes every single letter, where goes every single word, if you know all of those little things, you're going to be able to deliver the script in the best way possible, and it's going to come up natural, like you're just having a conversation, okay? That's why I wrote over here, okay? You're not seeing the little red dot for some reason, but, well, I understand why. I mean, you can see over here that it doesn't look like much, but I have it written right here. You have to deliver, not read the script. It's a very interesting use of words there. You have to deliver, not read the script. If it sounds scripted, it doesn't sound confident. Put yourself in this situation, okay? You have this house that you've been thinking about sell the last 5 months, okay? You've been thinking about selling that property the last 5 months. And before you start trying to actively sell your property, you receive a phone call from a guy that is interested in buying your property, okay? But the guy says like, "Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm calling about the house on Elwood Drive in Phoenix." You're like, "Okay, go ahead." And the person is like, "We're looking to buy houses in this area. Would you consider selling that property?" I mean, if you're interested in selling your property, you are, but you're not going to do business with that person because that person doesn't sound like he knows what he's talking about. That person sounds like he's just reading something, okay? This is his first day, he's going to read something, and that's about it. That's the complete opposite of what we're looking for here, okay? Now, a deliver, on the other hand, if you deliver the script, it sounds different, okay? A deliver sounds something like, "Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm calling about the house on Elwood Drive in Phoenix." Okay, go ahead. "Okay, we're looking to buy houses in this area, and we were wondering if you will consider selling that property." The person on the other line is going to be like, "Okay, yes, go ahead. I've been thinking about that," and then the call goes further. You are subconsciously thinking on doing business with that person with the second case because the second case knows like the sort of person you can trust on. No, so sounds like someone that knows what it's talking about, okay? And keep those things in mind, guys. Keep those things in mind. Every time you're going to work here, you're going to have, you're going to feel tempted of maybe, well, not tempted. You're not going to realize, but you're going to sound nervous, okay? And that's okay, that's normal. But remember, you need to deliver the script, not read the script. The more you study the script, the better you know the script, the better you will be at it. Okay, very simple deal. Okay. So, there's another thing related to this, is that not only knowing the script is the best way to go, but also knowing the project, or as I also call it, get wise. You need to get wise on the project. You need to know the project. You need to breathe and understand the project because every little thing that you're going to do has a purpose, okay? If you don't know what's the end game or the purpose of the project, you won't know the things you're supposed to do to help the project reach its goal. You can ask me anytime. That's why I gave you my email address at the beginning of the call, okay? You can ask me. You can ask your supervisor. You can even ask Gabriela. She was an agent at some point and she knows everything related to the campaigns, okay? As your co-workers, once you get used to that. Your supervisor, you can ask your supervisor what the project's about. And once you know that, find out and learn other stuff related to the project. Reading and learning more about the company you're working for or the project in general won't hurt, and it will help you understand your function better. I mean, if you were on a plane and that plane have no plan of landing, I mean, You're telling me, okay, we're gonna board this plane, and that's it. Oh, and where is it gonna land? I don't know. The pilot says, I don't know where the plane is gonna land. It's gonna land somewhere. Okay, yeah, it's gonna land somewhere, but where? Well, somewhere. Oh, so you're telling me we have no destination? Nope. We're just gonna hop on the plane and hope for the best. That's not good, guys. That's not bueno. Okay, the more knowledge, I wrote it right here, the more knowledge you get of the project, the better your performance will be. So don't waste time. Get wise. You can start Googling some words. You can Google what's lead generation, which is the thing you guys are gonna do. You can Google up how to improve your telephonic voice. You can Google up how lead generation works for real estate, or what are the other alternatives to lead generation. Understanding those things are going to help you excel at this. There is also some other things that are important to know. For example, the rebuttals. We're going to send you the rebuttals. You need to study those. You need to study the rebuttals. You need to make sure that you're handling the rebuttals in a good way. You need to know all of those little things. Okay? The more you know them, the better the outcome and your performance will be. If you're starting a call, if you have to make 300 calls in a day, and you take all of those 300 calls scared because you know that you don't know the things that you're supposed to know, then you're not going to have good results. As simple as that. Because if someone's not prepared for doing such things, if someone's not prepared to make the best out of a situation, to answer the questions the customer have to ask them, then that person is not going to be able to project proper confidence, which at the end of the day is what we're looking for. There are some other stuff that you can learn about the project right here in this video, in this conversation. I'm sorry, but eventually you will have to learn some other stuff, and don't close yourself. We never stop learning. Okay, get wise. Don't waste your time, and get wise. Now let's go to the other part. You have to go pro, you guys. Okay, you need to be pro. You need to be the best at it. Be sharp. A very interesting use of words there. Be sharp. Sharp has a lot of meanings. Sharp as a sharp dressed man. Sharp as a knife. Sharp as a sharpshooter. Those are the things. You have to be sharp when you call. Okay. Now, be sharp is a very interesting concept. Okay. Being sharp is, as I always describe it, the active exercise of doing things right. Okay, that's what being sharp is about, the active exercise of doing things right. Focus on being professional all the time. Okay, once you get into the action, try to do things as good as possible. Okay, try to do things as good and the best way you can. Okay, try to do things as smooth and as professional as you can. All of those things can be translated as being polite, being straightforward, and pronounce everything as stated on the script. Okay, the repetition of those things can help you have the proper backbone and confidence necessary to get the job done. Okay, you need to first of all develop a habit. Okay, develop a habit. If you focus on doing your best, on doing things right all the time, you're going to develop a habit, and then excellence is going to be your normal way to go. Okay, so when calling, make sure that you're doing things right. Be there all the time. The moment they pick the phone up, you start, hello, how are you doing? My name is Daniel. I'm calling about the house, and you make sure that everything related to the script is good. Okay, let me tell you why this rule is so important, and I believe this is the most important part of this training. That's why I'm circling so much. This is the most important part of the training, y'all, because the thing about going pro or being sharp is the active exercise of doing all of the things you already learned, all of the things that you already know. So make sure that you're taking care of all of the little things you have to do in order to get this right. You're going to make around 300 calls every single day. Okay, maybe that's the average, 300 calls in a day. So you need to sit down, you need to do the calls. Okay, you need to make sure that you are getting all of the information, that you're getting everything done right if you want to have the best of those calls, because this thing that you're going to do, that we do, is called cold calling. Okay, and cold calling has a very simple explanation. Okay, Cold calling means that you have to call people that are not expecting your call. They're not waiting for your call. You're calling them out of the blue and start asking questions. That's what we do. Okay? And the thing about cold calling is that you don't make 300 calls and close 300 prospects. You do 300 calls, and with some luck, you're going to close maybe 10. Let's suppose maybe if you're good at this, you can close maybe 2 or 3. Okay? But let's imagine this. Okay? There is a day in which God Almighty says, I'm going to give this guy a lot of leads. I'm going to give him 10 leads today. This guy is going to break some records today. He's going to make 10 leads and he's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. But here's the catch. From those 10 leads that you have there, 5 of those leads are going to be people that are going to ask you a lot of stuff. Okay? They're seriously going to ask you a lot of stuff related to the campaign. And you need to be prepared, because the moment you don't answer a question quite right for them, they're going to hang up on you. Okay? So you need to make sure that when they ask you something, you answer everything if you want to close those leads. Those are 5. 5 are going to be very curious customers. They are interested. You don't know that. They're interested, but they have questions. If you answer their questions in the best way possible, you're going to close those leads. Now, we still have 5 others left. From those 5 others left, 3 of them are leads that you're going to close, but that you can close, but the customers are angry. The customers are extremely angry. They're going to scream at you. They're going to insult you. They are interested. They tell you yes after the first opening line, so you have proper ground to go on with the script, but they are upset. So if you use your voice in a bad way, you're not going to close those leads. You need to make sure that you're using the best voice possible in order to calm them down. Okay? And that's the thing. If you use your voice in the best way possible, you're going to close those leads. That's the thing. If you don't, then you're going to lose them. We have 2 leads left. From those 2 leads left, you can close one of those. I mean, that's a very nice customer, a very nice person, he's interested, but maybe if you lose connection, or if you lose connection, or if you lose power, then you cannot call back that lead, because that lead is not going to answer the phone anymore, and that lead is lost forever. So you need to finish that up, to finish that lead in a clean way, and praying God that your internet connection doesn't go off, or the power doesn't go off. And the last lead is a lead that you're going to close no matter what happens. No matter what happens, no matter what goes, you're going to close that lead no matter what. We have no way to tell which lead is which. The only thing we have control is in our performance. Okay? We have no control on their interest. We cannot force someone that is not interested in doing business with us to do business with us. Okay? That's pretty simple. You're not going to tell them at gunpoint, I need to close this lead with you ASAP, or there's going to be trouble. That thing's not going to happen. And you can convince them either way. Like, oh yeah, but what if we gave you this amazing offer? No, look, I'm not interested in selling my property, okay? So please don't bother me anymore. Oh man, just let me close this lead, and if the call is from your interest, look, I have no time for this. You have no control over that. But you are in control of yourself. Okay, be on your best, guys. Be on your best. If you're doing your best in each call, if you're sure that you're doing things right, then you'll be in control. And someone in control is someone confident, okay? Someone that is always under control is someone that is always going to succeed. So make sure that you keep things in control. Let's review some basic stuff related to this. Remember, you need to know the script, know the project, and be sharp. If you know the script, then you won't be nervous when you have to deliver. Therefore, you'll sound more confident. Okay? If you know the project well enough, you won't be afraid of answering any questions, and you'll know that you can mess it up. That sort of knowledge, knowing that you're a badass, that you're going to close no matter what, knowing that you are the guy they need to talk to, knowing those things, knowing the project well enough to do wonders for you. And the last thing, last but not least, never least, be sharp. Okay, be sharp, guys. You need to make sure that you're doing everything right. Everything that has to be done. Keep control of the call. Keep control of yourself. Keep control of your voice. Make sure that they are understanding what you're talking about. That you are the guy that they need to talk to. Project confidence. Those things, that action is going to do wonders for you, and you're going to project a lot of confidence in the call. So remember, guys, know the script, know the project, and be sharp. Okay, know the script, know the project, and be sharp. Now, we already discussed the basics about the telemarketing gig. Okay, these things that I told you apply to every telemarketing campaign that you're going to work here, either with us or without us. Okay, so this training is going to help you a lot. It can also help you a lot in life. But let's focus on the campaign that you guys are going to work on, okay? The real estate campaign. Let's go with some basic concepts, okay? I believe the first concept that we need to know is that we are assistants, okay? You know that we call you guys the real estate agents, but I mean, you're not real estate agents. You are virtual assistants, just like me, just like everyone. So make sure that you know what is the thing that you're going to do, okay? What we're doing is basically connecting a seller with an investor. We assist the investors, okay? So make sure that that you're doing, I mean, that you're doing your job in order to project yourself as someone that is there to helping them, okay? We're gonna help the investors connect with the customers, okay? The other thing that you need to know is that we don't handle money. Okay, we don't by any chance handle money. Our job is just asking the information the investors need to make business going forward. Okay, and the third thing, we must sound casual all the time. Okay, that's on us and the use of our voice. Okay, it's important to sound casual on the phone. The better we sound on the phone, the more info we could get. Okay, very simple stuff. Now let's go with some instructions. Okay, let's learn some basic instructions about this. The first thing that we need to review are the do's and the don'ts, or the don'ts and the do's. Okay, very simple and easy stuff. Let's go with these two first. Okay, because these two are the same different sides of the same coin. Okay, for the first thing you should never do, don't disclose an offer by any chance. Okay, don't disclose an offer. You're going to feel tempted to do so, but never do it, because they're going to ask you, okay, you're going to tell them, okay, my name is Daniel, I'm calling about the house in Market Street. Okay, what about it? We're looking to buy a house in this area. Would you consider selling that property? Okay, you give me an offer. Never give them an offer. The proper way to go is, if they tell you, give me an offer, we'll be like, okay, is it okay if I ask a few questions to get a better feel about the property, and blah, yada, 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 yada. Okay? Never disclose an offer, guys. The other one, don't negotiate with the seller by any chance. They're going to tell you, for example, let's imagine you have this wonderful lead, you ask is there a ballpark amount that you'd be happy selling for, they tell you 300K. You go straight to Zillow. And in Zillow, it shows that the estimate is 290K. You tell them, okay, what if we gave you 280K? Maybe they tell you yes, maybe they tell you no, maybe they hang up, maybe they keep listening. That's none of our concern. Our concern here is that we should always ask if it's negotiable. We never negotiate with the customer, because real estate is not an easy thing. Okay, I don't know if you know this, but real estate, it's not the easiest thing in the world. It has some knacks, and you need to understand how the market works, how the environment in which the house is works, how's the market going, what are the improvements, what's the current status of the property, the desirability of the area. There are many things that you have to take into consideration. So never negotiate with the seller. Okay, that's not the thing we should do. The only thing that you can do is that you can ask them, okay, is that negotiable? That's it. That's all you should ask if the property is negotiable. Okay? Now, the other thing that you should never do, push the seller to give out information. Okay? Never push the seller to give out information. You are calling them at their house. Okay? We are there uninvited. Okay? So, if you ask something and they don't want to answer you, the best way to go will be politely acknowledge and go on. Is there a special reason for wanting to say, well, there is a reason, but that is personal and I want to tell you. Okay, sir, got it. And you go on with the call. Never push them. Because if you push them, they're going to hang up. Now, these two, just like this, are different sides of the same coin. Sounding like asking for a favor and sounding like you're calling from the bank. Okay? Pretty simple stuff. I would like you guys to show you some stuff. I would like to talk to you about your voice as a tool. Okay. Your voice, guys, is a tool, and you need to make sure that it works properly. Okay? There are some ingredients. I have here the main ingredients. I have here some secondary ingredients. The main ingredients for your voice should be professionality, friendliness, and straightforwardness. Okay? Professionality, friendliness, and straightforwardness. Professionality, you need to sound professional enough for them to pay attention to you. You need to sound professional enough for them to feel like they're talking with the person they need to talk to. Friendliness, because we don't know for sure if they have problems with the bank. We don't know if they have problems with a loan shark. We don't know if they have problems with the law. We don't know those things. But if we don't sound friendly, they may be wary of the call, and they won't allow us to continue. So we need to make sure that we're sounding as friendly as we can without harassing them with friendliness and kindness. And the other thing is straightforwardness. Okay? Straightforwardness. You need to go straight to the point. Try to work and try to have a rhythm that allows you to go on without making them feel like they're wasting their time. Okay? Go straight to the point. Now, let's go back with this. If you sound like asking for a favor, you're throwing away the professionality and the straightforwardness maybe, and you keep it only with the friendliness. And friendliness alone is not a good ingredient for the telephonic voice. Let's imagine that I started talking like this. Hi, how are you doing? My name is Daniel. I'm going to be your training today. How are you doing? Are you doing good? That's great. That sounds awful. By any means, never talk like that. Or maybe like sounding like asking for a favor, which is not also high pitching, but I mean sound desperate. Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm calling about the house on Erwood Drive in Phoenix. We're looking to buy houses in this area. Would you consider selling the property? That doesn't convey any trust. Look, if the moment you sound like asking for a favor, you're throwing away everything that we already learned. Okay? You're throwing everything away and you're just keeping with things that, I mean, you're not sounding confident. You're not projecting confidence. That's what's happened. You're not projecting any confidence. The other thing, sound like calling from the bank. Okay? Sounding like calling from the bank is like keeping the friendliness away and keeping the professionality and the straightforwardness again. Only those. Like, hi, my name is Daniel. I'm calling about the house in Market Street in Phoenix. We're looking to buy houses in this area. Would you consider selling that property? Is it okay if I ask a few questions to get a better feel about the property and make a more accurate offer? That person doesn't sound like he wants to help. That person sounds like, I know you owe money. I know you have problems. You better have my money. I'm going to take your house. Okay? So, remember, keep this at bay. Okay? Make sure that you are using them in the correct levels. The proper level for sounding professional is sound professional enough for them to want to do business with you. Sound friendly enough for them to feel like you're not calling to take their money and their properties away. And straightforwardness in a way that they feel that you are not wasting their time when you're calling. Okay? Professionality, friendliness, and straightforwardness. Those should be always our way to go. Okay? Pretty simple stuff. Now, I would like to talk about these two as well. You need to also make sure that you sound enthusiastic on the phone. These are secondary ingredients, okay? But still, you have to keep them in your head when you call. don't sound bored, okay? Have some enthusiasm when you're called. Make sure that your voice sounds pleasant, okay? A pleasant voice can give you a great result in this job. And don't be afraid of using expressions, okay? I actually had to tone down my expressions a little bit, but I like to be as expressive as I can without harassing the people that are listening to me. I used to work at some point as a politician. I also used to work as a radio host at some point, and 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 when you had those lines of job, when you have those lines, when you have that experience, you realize how powerful a proper voice can be. Okay, so make sure that your voice sound expression that your voice conveys expressions as well, because that's going to help you avoid sounding robotic. You can even pay attention to the way I talk during this training. Okay, if you pay attention to the way I do it, to how I use my voice, how I use my pauses, what's the tones that I use to convey certainty, what are the tones that I use to convey doubt, that I use to convey comprehension. If you keep those things in mind and try to make sure that your voice works as a tool, you're going to have great results here, guys. So let's go again with the instructions. Okay, let's go again with the do's, the things that you should always do. The first thing that you should always do is open smoothly. Okay, always open smoothly. That means make sure that the opening line works like a charm. Okay, the opening line is a hook. Okay, you throw a hook and you hope your best that that grabs a fish. Okay, you need to make sure that you're cutting their attention. Okay, yeah, like you're grabbing their attention. So make sure that the opening line, how you start, opens in the most in the smoothest way possible. Okay, I always say I always advise the agents, you need to study the script 100%. That you have to give 100% in every call that you make. But the opening line should be the most important part of it. Okay, you need to make sure of that. So make sure that you're opening in the smoothest way possible. Okay, guys? Now, let's go with the second part. You need to clarify the reason of the call as much as you can. Okay? Clarify the reason of the call. If they ask you what is the call about, make sure that they're understanding what is the purpose of the call. Okay? So, try to make them sure, try to make sure that they are understanding the purpose of the call. Okay? You can do that either with your voice, by using a proper voice on the phone, or if they ask you something, don't be afraid to answer them. But they need to know and they need to feel like by the end of the call they're going to receive another call in the next 24 hours and they have to pick that call. Clarify the reason of the call is making sure that by the time they finish the lead, they know that they have to pick that call. You need to use your voice and you need to use everything learned here in order to achieve that goal. Okay? The other thing, collect as much information as you can. Look, we don't handle money here. Okay? What we handle is information, okay? And don't be afraid, guys. Never be afraid of collect as much information as you can, okay? Let me tell you why. You're going to ask some questions, okay? Let's imagine you're asking someone, is there a special reason for wanting to sell? And they gave you 5 reasons to sell. They tell you, well, I want to sell because my grandmother, my deceased grandmother left me a property. That's reason 1. They left me a property. Reason 2. The property is not in the best condition. He needs money to repair it. He doesn't have the money, therefore he wants to sell the property. The property has foundation problems. We already have 3 things covered. The property is also collecting taxes, and he cannot afford to pay those taxes. And he needs to sell the property because he needs to pay the mortgages and all of the things related to the damage of the property. Those, the guy's giving you 5 reasons. But when you write down what the reason to sell, you just put he doesn't want the property because he has no money to fix it. I mean, yeah, you're telling 1 or 2 reasons maybe, but you're not giving the full picture. And the fuller the picture, the better the result. So make sure that you're collecting all of the information that you can. That also applies in not asking the proper questions when necessary. Okay? Because you're going to feel tempted of maybe avoiding asking certain questions in order to not mess things up. So don't be afraid and collect as much info as you can. If you feel scared that you might lose a lead because you're not asking a question, look, that lead is not going to be the best lead anyway. So you better ask the question, and that's it. Just ask the question. Don't be afraid of asking. Remember, we don't handle money here. We handle information, and the more information you can grab from a customer, the better the outcome will be for you. And when you get the information, guys, confirm it. Don't be afraid of confirm the information. Okay? When you get info, confirm it. Don't be afraid of asking them. Okay? They can tell you, oh, how much are you going to take for your property? Is there a ballpark amount? Oh, well, 250K. Oh, okay, that was then 250K. When you get the information, confirm it. Okay? Let's imagine this. You call someone, and that person tells you something like, okay, we are going to, you tell them, okay, I'm calling about the house on Market Street in Phoenix. Oh yeah, I don't sell that property, no, but I do have another property that you guys might be interested. Okay, perfect, sir. May I have the address of the property? Yes, that's the 4206 Taylor Road in Wayland, Wisconsin. Okay, so 4206 Taylor Road, Wayland, Wisconsin. Got it. So you're like, okay, you write the address, 4602 Taylor Road, Wayland, Wisconsin. You write Taylor as Taylor. But then you realize that that is not the proper address because you wrote Taylor as Taylor, Wayland as Wailon, but then you go to Google and you realize that it's not like that. You go to Google and you realize that the address is actually Taylor as Taler. You get to Google and you realize that the address is Taylor as Tayler, Waylon as Walon, and you didn't confirm it. Don't be afraid of asking them to confirm the information. Don't even be afraid of asking to spell those things. Because in some cases, the information is not, in some cases, the information is not in the best, it's not spelled properly. Okay, and that's a common practice. If you don't understand them, don't be afraid to use NATO's phonetic alphabet. Okay, give me a second. Don't be afraid of using the NATO phonetic alphabet. Okay, okay, sir. So you're telling me Taylor as Thomas, Oscar, Mary, Alpha, so on, and that's it. Okay, don't feel afraid. Don't be afraid of using of using the phonetic alphabet. Okay, and the other thing, be ready to improvise. Okay, be ready to improvise. They're going to ask you a lot of stuff. Maybe the moment you start opening the script, they are like, okay, we're looking to buy a house in this area. Would you consider selling that property? Yes, I've been thinking about selling the property the last couple of months. I want 250K, non-negotiable. And I would not accept a cash offer for that. I want to have that money. I know that the property is worth 350K. I want 250 as soon as possible. Okay, sir, so you told me this information. Is it okay if I ask a few other questions? And you start the script knowing that you don't have to ask for part of the information that they already gave you. Okay? So guys, be ready to improvise. Okay? Be ready to improvise. That's part of the job. Now, this part is also a very important part, okay? This part is related to the body language, okay? This is related to the body language, to the way the language works, the body language works. When you talk, don't be afraid of using your hands, guys. Don't be afraid of moving your hands. You clearly are not seeing me right now, but I'm moving my hands right now. I've been moving my hands a lot when doing this video, okay? When doing this training, and and when I move my hands, the way I move my hands and such, I do them because it makes me feel more comfortable with my ideas. I feel like I'm physically handling the ideas when we talk. Moving your hands is a great way to improve your confidence and to help you sound more fluid, because it makes you feel comfortable with the things you're saying, it makes you feel good, and it makes you sound more natural to yourself. Moving your hands helps you to project more confidence, okay? And that's the psychological effect it has on you. There is a physical effect as well. I used to play French horn when I was a little kid. I used to play in the symphonic orchestra here in Marinas, and I used to play the French horn. When I played the French horn, I remember that you had to push some buttons with your fingers, with your fingers. You have to move some tubes with your hand, and you have to physically change the flow of air in the horn by moving your palm in a certain way to achieve certain notes. Okay? Knowing those things help me understand how the sounds work and how the sounds are created. Okay? It's a pretty simple thing. Um, the more you know about that, the better it will be for you. Okay? And the sounds, for example, the sounds in our speech come from our diaphragm, our lungs. The air goes from our lungs, from our diaphragm. Um, the sound of our voice comes from our throat, our vocal cords, and the speech patterns, the vowels, and the consonants, the fricatives, and all of that comes from the movements of our mouth. So, understanding those little things can help us improve everything related to our speech, okay? And by changing maybe the way we move our hands, we're actually changing the way the air flows. We're changing the way the air flows, the same way the air flows when you move the tubes in a French horn. Okay, you can Google a French horn and you can see what I'm talking about. And by knowing those things, guys, you're going to understand how it works. If you move your hands, you're changing the flow of air and you're making yourself sound more human to the person that is on the other side of the phone. Okay? It's a very simple stuff. So, another thing, help with a smile. The telephonic smiles do wonders. If if I put my face in a if I put my face like I was angry, I can assure you that I'm gonna sound angry. Okay? If I'm forcing myself, look, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna tell you when, but I'm gonna put that face like I were angry. Okay? I'm gonna try to use my voice the same way because I'm not angry right now, but I'm just gonna put my face in an angry way, and let's see if you can tell the difference. You can actually write when I start sounding angry and when not. Okay? You can write it up, and then we can do a little comparison. And and that's on one thing. And the other thing, I'm not gonna tell you when, but I'm also going to make a smile. And the moment I make a smile, you tell me if I'm smiling, and we'll see if it makes a difference. I'm not actively trying to change my voice in any way. Okay, I'm not doing anything different. I'm talking in the way I always talk, but I'm not upset either. I'm not I'm not completely happy either, but I'm gonna smile at some point, and you let me know if it shows up. If it shows up, you're gonna feel the difference on the phone. A smile can do great things to improve the way you sound. Maybe if you don't want to smile, because I talk a lot, and I actually remember that I spent an entire week working with a full smile, calling with a full smile. I understand that it can be a little bit tiresome, but if you don't want to smile that much, maybe half a smile. Half a smile still works as a charm, and and it's going to be great for you. So remember, guys, don't be afraid of using your body to convey the message. Okay? Now, also important to know. Okay? The first thing you need to know is that you need to sound relaxed all the time. I understand that this is easier said than done, but you need to sound relaxed all the time, okay? Make sure, because when you talk, you're going to feel like that. You're going to spend the entire day calling, talking. and people are going to be like really, really rude with you. Maybe you're not going to have the best productivity in day, and you might feel tempted to throw the towel away. But you need to make sure that you're sounding relaxed, because if you don't sound relaxed all the time, then what's the point? You're not going to improve your productivity by sounding tense. Tension and anger travel on the phone like it was a damn train bullet. Okay, bullet train, sorry. Travels on the phone like it was a damn train bullet. So don't do that to yourself. Don't sound stressed out. If you feel really stressed out, have a cup of coffee. Wash your face, sorry, with cold water. Drink a nice glass of warm water and smoke a cigarette. Whatever it takes to make you feel more relaxed. Make sure that you're taking those cues, that you're keeping yourself relaxed, and your numbers are going to improve sooner or later. The other thing that you should always remember is that you need to speak slowly but clear, okay? You're going to be calling senior citizens here, you guys, okay? You're going to be calling senior citizens, and the thing about senior citizens is that some of them are not going to understand us. No matter how good our English is, no matter if you sound completely native, it's going to be difficult for them to understand us, okay? So try to speak in a slow way. I mean, not completely slow. This is not an invitation to imitate Dory from Finding Nemo, but I mean, as we say here in Spanish, ni tan calvo ni con dos pelucas. You need to find a way to you need to find a good equilibrium in order to achieve a good goal. But remember, make sure that they are understanding what we are talking about. That's the main goal here. They need to understand what we are talking about. The other thing, do the proper pauses between the sentences. We already discussed that. The information of the pauses, the importance of the pauses, okay? Don't be afraid of slow it down a little bit in order for them to understand what you're talking about and to use the pauses in the best way possible. The other thing, empathy, okay? You need to be empathic. You need to generate a connection with the person you're talking with. Try to, let me give you guys a little example of that, okay? We had an agent the other day. We grade our agents based on their performance, you know, their general performance and how much they stick to the script. And this thing literally happened to us, okay? We had an agent, he got 99 out of 100 on sticking on the script. He lost 1 point for a single little reason. When he spoke with a customer that, needless to say, it was pretty interested in selling the property, the guy gave a lot of good reasons, and no, not right now. The guy had the guy wasn't the guy had a lot of good reasons to finish to sell the property, but when asked about is there a special reason for wanting to sell, the guy, well, first of all, I would like to sell because I don't like the property anymore. I don't feel like it. I would like to keep myself away, and I would also like to buy the new Corvette. Have you seen the new Corvette? And the guy was like, yes, and went on with the script. Okay? Now, if a customer is telling you something like that, that's an invitation for you. You wouldn't reject an invitation from a nice person that wants to maybe drink a coffee with you or something. Someone nice, someone that you already like. That same principle should apply here. Okay, never reject an invitation from a customer. If they want to open up, that's a blessing, because not everyone wants to open up. Most of them want to keep their information for themselves. And we're handling information here. So I told him, okay, you shouldn't do this. And I told him, you know what I would have done if I were you? I told him, okay, if the guy asked me, have you seen the new Corvette? I'd be like, oh, yes, I've seen the new Corvette. Very nice car, sir. I wish I could afford it. And go on with the script. Okay? Empathy statements can help a lead become cleaner and better. Okay? So don't be afraid of generate some connection with the customer. Okay? Now, this is not an invitation either for the person to talk and talk and talk and talk. I don't want you to waste time that much. But don't be afraid of maybe generate a little connection with the person you're talking. Okay? Now, this one, if you need to end the sentence, okay, if you need to use the high pitch. Only use it at the end of a sentence when ending a question. Using otherwise is going to help you sound untrustworthy, okay? And if you use it while only asking questions at the end of sentences, and when only asking questions, what you are going to do is that you're going to come up as someone interested in what the customer is saying, okay? That's it. You're going to sound like you're interested in what they're talking about. The other thing, add some flavor. Use sentences and phrases to avoid sounding robotic. You need to read the script and you need to stick to it. But if you want to add, oh great, that's awesome. Okay, sir, and I would like to ask you, is there a special reason for wanting to sell? Those little things, those little necks can help you sound much, much better on the script, okay, on your general delivery. So don't be afraid of using those to avoid sounding like a robot, okay? And the other thing, confirm information all the time. We already discussed this. Doesn't hurt to talk about it another time. Confirm the information that you can all the time, guys. Okay, all the time, because you're going to receive. I mean, remember what we discussed. The addresses. The addresses are the things that you need to confirm. The prices. Confirm the prices if you can. If they tell you a special reason and it's a very long question, don't be afraid of confirm it back, repeat them back, the things they said. You're going to have the proper information and you're going to sound more interested in the customer. And those things are going to help you a lot in improving the quality of your leads. Okay? So I believe that covers most of everything already. That finishes this part of the training. Very thankful for you guys for paying the attention that you need. If you have any questions, well, feel free to reach me at my email address, danieltopdeals@gmail.com, and also here in my Discord, Daniel1. The DS should be uppercase. It's lowercase here. I don't know why. It should be uppercase. And the hashtag 2180. Okay, that's my ID number. Hashtag 2180. Okay, guys? So I believe this covers everything up already.